Yeah, here we go. Dope. What's good? We're gonna be rocking with another little episode, little session. Decoding with Dregz here. It's been about a week since I last, or 2 weeks since I last saw everyone. But that is all right. Just got big things going on, which is great. Probably get into the bigger coins as it goes on, but we'll make it nice and concise today. I'm just gonna run through some cool entries, talk about them, and yeah, just run through Thor, see what is good. So right now I just got the Pyth loaded up. Um, looks like it's doing pretty good. We have a call, 4-hour call. That's all that's available, and only longs. So looks like there's one at 30. Uh, 0.30. I think this one was actually here from a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure it was invalidated and put in again. Probably right around what is that? The At least the 14th of this month. So seeing that it came back again is always a good sign. Um, I think yeah, as long as these EMAs hold up, maybe we could ignore them. It looks like they're all kind of there, and I believe if we bounce off the day, look at the 4-hour, you bounce off that 200 EMA, then I think we'll be doing pretty good. Um, but if we break through those, I think it's definitely worth looking at. You do have that invalidation line at 40. Oh, these must have been some old ones here. Yeah, let's see. It's at 40.5. Cool. It's probably just hanging out on top of that wick there. Yeah, so it looks like we kind of had that like local top sitting at the 40 cents. And we are also could bounce there, like I said, but I think we should have our sights set for 30 if we start falling through all that. 26 cents, let's see, is another call, but with the same invalidation. So that might be some good buy zones. Of course, zooming out, you can see it's probably, I just probably lowered that down there. You got a good little proper range going on. No shorts, just that's the only call. So just to start us off, I think, if you're into Pyth, could bounce. If I'm kind of I got some spot holding on for them for a while. If for me, I'm not really selling at this point. I'll just hang out, take the ride. Um, I think we can see higher. These are probably some previous shorts that were called a while ago, which kind of coincide with some of those higher points up through there. But we can't really talk about them until we break through that 40. Looks like it met a little double top in the 4-hour. And we're going back down, seeing if we retest that zone there. If we do, cool. Thor's telling us 30 cents or 26 cents would be good zones to buy back in. The ranges aren't too incredible. It looks like if we do go down, we will bounce back predictively to that zone we're at now. So maybe like a little recovery bounce is at least what it's telling me here. Of course, this range is really nice. I don't think we'll get to that 25, but uh, it's I've been wrong before. As Thor's been pretty good at showing us things that we kind of chuckle at, and then it goes ahead and hits it anyways. Not a lot going on there, but I thought I would just start off with some the Pyth. Jupe. Let's go to Jupiter. Oof, this was a pretty fun chart. I know this, like I said, been 2 weeks since we've been back at it. Kind of crazy, I'll say. This was a short I kind of left hanging out for a while. Looks like we definitely tapped that again. So that's again sometimes a reason why I keep some crucial points in on my charts, even though we were hitting some lows. We were all the way back down here, and I still kind of left that $1.20. I think it was because previously it was a short that worked and it met some good resistance. I think right there, and I'm even mentioned that 18 cents uh, is worthy of kind of that range, that zone by a couple points. And if we just kind of look back at what happened, it broke through. I mean, we hit that long, it came up, did pretty good. Great. We probably had some invalidation zones. I think at the time I was speaking of those could have been some higher ones for the longs. And then of course it broke through that. We did have this nice little sell zone. I think if you're in the DGen chat, we were pretty hyped about it when it hit here. This is when I took a play and we did a nice short down to this zone. I kept this short there as well. Sometimes, again, these do serve. When you break through a short, it did test out there. It kind of went above it, but we fell back down and came back up and it broke through that previous short. But sometimes you can make those shorts into longs because the resistance can turn into support. That's kind of what you saw there. It doesn't mean it was wrong. It just means that, hey, you had to been there for that play. And if you missed it, it kind of sucks, but there's always another one, as you can see. We got through this zone, we did it, kind of retested that again, went down, and by this time, hopefully, especially in the chat, we were all out of these shorts. We definitely wanted to get away from all that, especially when we went down here. I'm pretty sure most of us called it like halfway down too. I know I was out by like 95 cents. We were looking at the 4 hour, but I think when you look closer, I don't think I was as confident. Yeah, actually did. It did kept going down. I think it kind of bounced back up, so I think that's why we exited around here. But then it went down, nice, bounced off that previous short, went up through, kind of touched that short zone again, and boom. So that's cool. But to just clean up my chart, I'm probably gonna get rid of those. And where we're at now, kind of looks like, oh wow, looks like I wouldn't say this is a buy zone, but it kind of turned into a support. So I'll just turn it green. We are at that zone. Now, I would say, that dollar is the psychological resistance or, resistance or support zone that, a dollar. And when it's a whole numbers, people love it. So I think, actually, let's actually look at Thor. Who cares what I think when we have Thor? um, the 99 cents seems to be another call. So it's kind of, right around where probably down there. We'll do 98 though. 90, we'll do something like that. So that's cool. But, just to clean up my chart, I will leave that in a 96 call to 94. So I try to meet you in the middle. Also looking at the chart, I'll make it 4 hour again. Or 2 hour. That's fine. And then let's see. Meeting right in the middle at 95. I kind of like how those are bouncing off there. So you can always fine tune it, just kind of seeing where things are landing, some of those wicks are going. And if you just want to be part of the play, sometimes I do like to be in the middle range of a call, not just that minimum. Sometimes you could do 50% on top, 50% on the lower end, or you could do like 50% on the lower first call and then the higher end on the secondary call. It just depends on what you want to do, your size. Oof. Damn. Okay, so It's been a second since I've really got to sit down and review Thor, so these are all going to be a little new to me too. Sitting at 83 cents is another call. Okay, so we're going to be, all right. Oh, take that 61 and bump it up to 66, which does remind me of where we hit lower on this area on the 8th and the 4th with a nice little double bottom there. Seeing that, already holding the bag of jupe. I personally, you know, probably don't care about this zone right here. If it is enticing, I will be doing the lower ends. That's 80. Oof. Okay, sorry, 73. I think I was a fan of this zone. That's honestly where I really probably my average for the recent plays were my buy-ins. I didn't really catch the Pico bottom, darn, but hey, I did get in pretty heavy around there. My play was a little different though. I did make a some of the jupe I bought. I made a Kira jupe pool, a DLMM pool. So, bullish on Kira, cool. Maybe a little biased being with the Cyber Frogs. I want to be exposed to that, and I believe in that coin. And I honestly think that it's kind of bottomed out. The people that really wanted to sell probably ran out of coins to sell. There's still people that could dip, but I think there's enough want to keep us around that 5 cent range. So I'm comfortable almost calling it a stable coin, stable-ish to that zone. So I don't mind doing that. Uh, I do. So when I went up, I'm pretty much almost out. I made like a 200 bin, 0.8% range one. So it allowed me to go up to, I think, 40 cents if Kira's at 5 cents. So worst case, Kira pumps, wonderful, then, that pool is just generating fees. But kind of my play was getting a bunch of jupe cheap and then entering a pool when jupe got a little higher. And then it kind of sells a jupe for Kira. Cool. So for me, it's a little different when people are like, hey, did you sell your jupe? Like, you bought it at 70 cents. I'm just trying to make fees, trying to get some Kira for the Jupiter. And if Jupiter goes back down, it sells Kira for Jupiter. Oh no, I have Jupiter. Like, whatever. I either have Jupiter or Kira. So in my eyes, that's really cool. Anyways, so yeah, I'll probably buy more down here. It's just a different kind of perspective. I didn't really sell the Jupiter. I'm just kind of enjoying the range that I think I saw at the $1.20, and now I'm just enjoying it going back down. It's one thing about pools that are really nice. I don't think people talk about it too much either. Is that you kind of, if you're making like a couple percents here and there a day, it's really kind of lax. You're given some profits in fees rather than calling a certain point and being full out of a position. I do like to buy this X amount and put them in a pool, and then I hold the other amount. So there's going to be some, uh, no, IR, impermanent loss. That's right. So sometimes you'll see the pool go up, and I could have made 3 times as much or twice as much if I just held it, but that's why I like to hold some spot and then go in the pool with the other bit. Now, anyways, seeing that the 66, 30, 73, and 83, they all have the invalidation zone of $1.22, which, lo and behold, is probably this wick hanging out here. So, what I'd do is probably get rid of this guy, consolidate that, and notice that this is the top range. We're just seeing some lower calls, just probably some lower time frame movements if you wanted to play those. It's not bad. I mean, that's a 10% move, 13%, around the same percentage there on the 96, if not a little more. So I mean, that's a cool little short, little low time frame play. And yeah, you've seen that. Ooh, it's a 1 day call. So those 4 hours are also 1 days, right down through here. And then this top one is just a 1 hour call. And I do like Juke because, I mean, hell, these ranges have been pretty fun. And just for spot, you've been having some good, oh, damn, good times with it. Like, let's see. If we hit 73 cents, it goes to, let's say, the TP1 92. Yeah, 26%. Oh, we go up to $1.03, 40%. So yeah, not too bad though. Yeah, that dip does kind of suck 'cause from here going down, you gotta be down 27%, 17%, or 33%. But honestly, not too bad, especially if you're playing in that range. We don't have any short calls, or else I'd have a bottom zone, but I don't really have a bottom invalidation. I'd just be calling this range probably around the 73 cent to the $1.22. Seems to be maybe where it's hanging out. Maybe that 83. We'll see how it plays, but it looks like it's breaking. Oh, let's go to 1 day. Let's see how the EMA is doing. Yeah, actually, looks like that next play might be more like that 94 cent, 95 cent for a decent little bounce off of the 1, 2, 3, or it could be 4 day dip right through there. Let's see. We got a few people in here, so let's run to. Yeah, let's go to Solana. See what's going on with a good friend Soul. Oof, yeah. Again, we had a bunch of zones. Always fun to see after a couple weeks what transpired and if we were right or how wrong we were. I'll just leave it on the 1 day. I know that 118 was a big one. Yep, still is. That's crazy, right? So, yeah, these calls must have been yeah, put in again because I mean that's 3 days ago, but I've been seeing these uh, higher calls for weeks now. These shorts. So that 118 is a nice little lower call. I'm just gonna try to go through real quick to see if I got any. No, oh, we just hit. Kind of late to it, but if the 1 hour is true, we should be popping up to the 180, which would be a lower high, which could indicate that we will be dipping down a little bit from Solana. But again, looking at this range, I think 2 weeks ago we were going to zoom in here and we were looking at this 163 was the low end. Yeah, that'd be about right. Yep. We're kind of looking at this chunk right through here. We were just analyzing this range and it did behave for quite some time. I did get excited when it broke the 188. Probably did knock out invalidated some low calls that were there. Yeah, some of those 96. Yeah, let's see if yeah, I think it was right around down there. We had some lower calls at like 96 or 100. That's always exciting to get rid of, but we got to kind of readjust now. I think the range, it's a flowing river, the market, so always readjusting is good. Do that, but I guess going back to that, um, just analyzing that, it did break through that. It didn't hold it. I was really hoping we would have maybe made that invalidation zone support as it was a resistance for some time. Uh, that didn't really hold true. So that, not always right, but was hopeful. Now it looks like we're back within that range, but that range may have been elongated now at 193, taking that number from here on a 1 day long call. So, like the 1 day long calls or short calls usually provide some decent validations, especially when they line up kind of like that. I know they both were put in the same day yesterday. Now we got 118, just kind of looking at what we got for those shorts. There's no other shorts. So, with that, it might be good still. I think, how would I look at that? Honestly, I think that 165 zone could be with that 200 EMA forming on that 4 hour. Could be on the cusp of that, and I zoom out. Then we go down a bit. And over time, yeah, that kind of makes sense, huh? 'Cause I feel like Thor is really good at predicting where that like an important EMA is coming. So we see it down here, but I feel like over the course of a few days, this line is going to be coming back up and up. And then soon enough, that long call will be sitting right here. And then, oh, that's kind of funny, huh? There's already a call there. I think it's kind of got reinstated, which is always funny when you have those. So yeah, I think what you're gonna see here is this one day is gonna bounce off of that 200 EMA, and that's why Thor is calling this zone. I mean, it does go down to 36, so I'd be ready for that too. And then a bounce back to where we are. That's a 173 TP3, and then a 160, probably maybe bouncing off of that, because now these are going to be a little bit more of a resistance. So I think it would be cool. I'm probably going to leave this up for myself for the 165, even though there's nothing really telling me to keep it on the board. Sometimes it is nice to have some indicators when, you know, there's nothing in between it. I do like to see it kind of a barometer. I always like to see where we're at, and if we're breaking something like that, then kind of gets me more excited to look at things like this. So I don't have active longs. I don't have any limit orders set in place right now, but I would once we break through something like that. That's when it then I don't know how to say it. We all have limited capital, right? Most of us. So I'm not going to be sitting here with a limit order, putting all like a bunch of capital here. I'm going to look at other Thor calls and see where opportunity drives me. Depending on my setup, my portfolio, if you have, your stake soul. I already have, for me, I do have a lot of soul in the auto Thor contract. So uh, trading Sol as spot, I don't really do it too much, but yes, sometimes I'll leverage it, especially maybe on these 1 day calls when I see something really strong like that. But again, that's why I kind of always say I like to see indicators telling me, kind of signaling me towards, hey, this a good trade is on its way, and then that's when I'll just kind of jump in more. This 127 was a good one, but I'm just gonna get rid of that. The 118, I'm not too worried about that zone anymore. I think I have a mental note of that. So just to clean up everything here. Yep, we got a 1 day. They're correlated by the 4 hour, but we do have that long call going up on the 1 hour, going to 180 for 4% move to maybe a TP3 at around 7%. So that'll kind of be filling up that gap through there. That's cool. Maybe worth watching. We are very close to that entry zone. Practically in it, but not totally. And of course, if anyone has any questions or kind of some coins you wanted to look into more, yeah, feel free to shout it out. Um, just kind of having fun here, especially after Solana. Oh, I think my my output's going off. Someone was saying something. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I think you got the kind of like a right idea of that too. It's kind of what I do. If you do see that Solana is going to have strength against BTC, you could either be confident that BTC might be dipping and it might hold steady, or Sol's going to kind of bounce back. And it's kind of that correlation or correlated movement that can happen. Even if it, I think I did have that invalidation line that I was looking at for a while, and it did kind of pop that. So trying to think of what that could have invalidated. But yeah, I would say that that probably correlates to kind of that a move like you're speaking of. Especially when you're looking over here too. It's like we're pretty no we're a little far off from some of this 1 hour. So yeah, it doesn't always mean Sol's gonna go down. It could just mean that Bitcoin could get a nice little recovery too, and Solana is just gonna be a slower moving. So then we'll still lose strength and dominance of BTC. But it doesn't mean Sol has to go down either. Yeah, I think that's solid. I mean, I'm in a play. Like I said, I think I've mentioned for like months. It was like I'm like buying in around like 220, like 24, and really going hard around that 20 zone down here too. But it's not been days. It's been I feel like it's March. I mean, it's probably been around April since I entered that trade, and switched my BTC for um, Solana, and then it kind of went up. I'm just pretty much got greedy. Was waiting for another. See, I was part of this move, and that was a ball in. Like it felt so good. That was a good trade. And then I wanted to do that all over again. So it went down, and I was scooping up around here, and then went down lower and went down there. It came back up. I didn't sell. Hit it again, and it's like, oh, all right. So in my certain wallet, I just went all Solana over Bitcoin. So all my Bitcoin went over to that, and then I've been just kind of waiting again. So it's been good to see that strength happening, and we do still have solid those calls. For the 28, 29, and 38. Oof, that would be crazy. Um, yeah, that would be some. We're just waiting for that move. I think it's like a 21. Yeah, 20, like 22. Yeah, let's move that down like lower invalidation. This one, let's get rid of that now. And yeah, so we got that 26-ish, a little lower than that, but I'm not really going too hard. It's kind of good to chart that out. So I'm just kind of hoping for the best, just taking the ride with the BTC Solana. Yeah, it looks like there's some pretty good ones that hopefully, yeah, looks like we're just probably bouncing in this little range. And that, yeah, 28. I might shave some off around there. at 28.9. Yeah. I mean, that still would be a solid play all in all. But yeah, looks like Solana is getting some of that dominance back, which is great. Um, it probably, yeah, it might dip a little bit more too, just seeing that, but we'll see what Bitcoin's doing, which probably brings us to a good conversation with, bring us to BTC here. Damn, yeah, like I said, I haven't checked Thor out in a while. I'm already seeing some interesting numbers. Oh man. Oof, it got crowded here. Yeah, still waiting. Oh man, we got close. I just really wanted it to break through this invalidation. Damn. 7:30. Yeah, it looks like it repeated a bunch of reinstated those calls. This stuff's been here for a while, many weeks, and it's just saying that it got input on the 27th. So I definitely know something. It's still hanging tight to those calls. 58. Interesting. Looks like a previous short, but is becoming a long call for the 1 day. 58, 56 too, damn. But you know what, we'll do the 58, 4, and then I think that was a lower invalidation for some law. Yeah, some kind of, oh, nope, it's for the, oh, oh, I see. We got rid of the short calls. That makes sense. So yeah, that was the invalidation for the short calls. And I think we dipped below that, which cleared those out, but still hanging tight because now I think we're looking at that being the, so now this kind of becomes the little buy zone, that local, just because it is a little bit of a gap. So we'll just note that that's a nice little range to look at. On the 1 hour, we're looking at 64, 51. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like a lot of the 1 hours are getting close. 645. Damn, really close. But in this case, I'll do 63.8. Right around there. There's no shorts. Oh, the 4 hours also mimicking the one. Sweet. Let's clean that up a little bit. Let's see what the four, that 1 hour. And then kind of thinking of the 1 hour move on TP3 was about 7.7%. So then if we go look here, 67.9. It's about 6. So yeah, it could. I mean, if you're looking at Sol and that on the 1 hour move, could have like a maybe like in a day, I'd say like a move that leads you to about like 6%. Nice little bounce back up off of some stuff here, but it could be. I wouldn't say a fake out, right? I mean, I think it's just going to be a little recovery, and then maybe followed up with some of those lower movements uh, back down here. I think there was some, I don't know if there's some events or something like that. Oh, I guess there's the FMOC or all the rate stuff in the talks. I know people like to, things happen here in speculation a lot. Yeah, so you see it go up and down. It's interesting how that works. I think the rate cuts come in September. It could be next month, but my money, if anything, if it gets cut, is in September. I mean, I think that's more than likely what would happen, and I've been thinking that for like many, many months now. But let's see, and then in that point, so that makes kind of sense if you think of a timeline. If we go down once more, just so we can get some of that liquidity down there, and then just march back up. That could be a good move, I think, because we've been stuck in this range for since, I mean, March, right? Yeah, we've been hanging here for months. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think it's still we still got some time. Probably another month of this, and hopefully see some real action. It's been fun, but it's always like I feel like it's kind of faking you out, blue balling you almost. So yeah, for me, I'd be watching out for that range. Yeah, just good at it. And yeah, that 1 hour call could be fun. See, that's like an intraday trade. Is like, hey, maybe this good. I might have fun with one of those calls, but I think I missed the Solana one, so I may keep my eyes out for this. And it makes sense too. I mean, there's a what is it, a 100-day EMA line that it'd probably be bouncing off of there. Wouldn't be so bad. And then I'll just lower it down to 4 hour. Ah, nice. That 200-day EMA on the 4 hour. Hmm. Interesting. We'll just have to see. Still waiting on some stuff though. All right. Hmm. Trying to see what's interested me lately. But of course, anyone can shout out something to look into more as well. There are plenty of coins to dig into. No. Interesting. Yeah. What I recall. Oh damn. That could be fun. Interesting. Short. Short. So all we have is 1 hour to go off of. I know these are usually these coins are always pretty coarse in the movement. Thankfully, it does have some decent volume today. Oof, where would it go? So I'd say the risk is always going to zero, but I don't think that's a true risk here. Let's say if I was to buy in, I'd have to be in for a okay with riding 40% down. What is that? About yeah, 30. Whew. Okay, with the 30 down for a 30, 60. I mean, 80 to 60% move up. That's a decent little risk reward. Yeah, I think it is a. I didn't really see that yet, but that is a pretty good DCA, I think, especially since you're in that kind of zone right through there. I think right through here, you see it too, kind of held tight. Yeah, I don't really care about that point there. You get bounced off once from that zone, bounced twice in a couple days. Yeah, no, I think that's worthy, especially if we're looking at some like shit coins or meme coins. That's a pretty fun one to I think chip in at. I think I would start. I may even start after this, buying a little bit here just to see how Thor's doing with these shit coins again. Because I know last one we had was like Gecko, which we all know, which is rough because it didn't have the volume. When coins don't have Yeah. R.I.P. Yeah, that's the one that kind of held the drop, man, and I'll see. We'll see one day. I'm not buying into it, but I didn't cost me anything besides a couple, uh, just a good grand or something sat out on, but that's okay. Um, yeah, no, this has the what is it, the TVL and its volume. That's something I do look at too, seeing how some of these coins and their volume compared to the TVL. It's got 20 million it's sitting at. Yeah, no, I'd say just overall, yeah, I think that's a good zone. That's probably a good TP for it too, even though you do have shorts at like the 5 cent and 8 cent. I think what happens, especially with these coins, I think there's a lot of people that have like sell orders here, and since it's not a huge market cap coin like Solana or Ethereum or Bitcoin, Jupiter, so I think sometimes these points can get a little mixed in with. I'm just guessing too. I don't know everything under the hood of Thor, but with a lot of limit orders that are probably being placed there, maybe, or previous movements that it sees there too. So that'd be a good like to Valhalla move for sure. But I probably that's a good worthy amount to take some principal out and see if you could ride the rest at too. But yeah, I'll have to try out and give it a go. Kind of speaking of yeah, speaking of these shit coins, this one is the one I've been eyeing myself lately. And this little shark cat, whatever. Was it 20 million as well? So it's pretty much the same market cap as um, Nub. Has pretty much the same kind of ratio. It's doing around the same total value locked as Nub. And it's just 1 million, about like 1 million and change, and same difference there. But this has 2 million locked, so TVL, and then this has 20 million market cap. This has hit, I guess, some whales like dropped or something like that, and some people are kind of mentioning it. So that kind of made me a little more inclined to maybe chip in around here too. Um, yeah, just another one that could have some pretty good returns. And that little shark cat. Oh, oh, shark cat. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it is. That's what I was saying. Like it's a lot of volume for a coin like that, no doubt. Um, Whatever. If we're going through these, I think it made a good, did pretty well with the Gecko. I think it got in around like the 64. Jumped out a little there and up here. We'll see how this does. That's like a 10 million with four. Yeah, it's not doing the same volume, so that's what's interesting about that. But that's what makes me a little more interested in like the nub and the shark cat, because we're kind of in that zone where maybe chipping it a little. You could either it's totally dead. I don't see it. This is one of those that I guess if it goes lower, we're going much lower. Or this is that point where it bounces. So, like you said, that's a lot of volume for a coin like this too. Yeah. So in these, like the ranges get really rough. I tried to. I'll be. Actually, that's a good. I've been testing some stuff out, and actually, this is my little pool here that I made with this coin with Kira. Um, it started here. This is you can see the starting point. Was it the 19th of July? Yeah. So we could see it losing. Kira's losing strength, then Kira's gaining strength against it, losing, gaining, losing. But if we look at it closer, it doesn't always. I should go to 4 hour. So this is my maximum range, and so the only issue with some of these is that these coins can hit that maximum range rather quickly, and so it's kind of difficult to scrape enough. I think, out of a 1.4K TVL, I think you get like 100 to 200 in fees over the course of maybe 2 weeks, I think it was. So it's not too much, but again, it's just testing the percents and testing um, what we could do with all that. The only issue is they those damn, I always impermanent losses. So basically, sometimes I'm left with Kira that's not moving very much, or maybe going down, or maybe up like 5% in a day. It's kind of it's been slowing down. So my idea is if Kira were to take off around the zone, then they kind of both catch up with each other, and you're gonna get this fighting movement because Kira's gonna go up, this is gonna go down, and then so if the prices kind of get that range with each other that I set, then that's wonderful. But since this went up pretty aggressively, it kicked out of the pool, and so most of the trading doesn't happen anymore because I'm already all Kira once it goes past the 5 point, the 51, like 0.051 zone. So if you make your pool a wider range, you'll miss out on a lot of trades that go on. And then sometimes if you make your pool too small, that range too small, you'll get a lot of trades, but it won't be in there for very long. So I've been trying to find that sweet spot. I've been messing with Jupiter too a bit. Jupiter's great. I mentioned that earlier in the session. Jupiter was great because I was able to capture a lot of movements, but it's slower moving. It really needs Kira to have some volume too, and I believe that's when I'll really be getting a lot more fees by the movement of both. But because Kira's kind of been flat in the regards to these pairs, it's really like a one-sided thing. It's depending on the the in this case the Geico Geeko to generate fees. You know, so I think in my trying to maximize the potential, we really got to see Kira make some moves too. Once Kira gets volume, then I think these meme coins with Kira pairs are really gonna be really more advantageous or lucrative to get involved with. Right now, it's nice, it's nice when one goes up because I mean I'll still make something, but usually it only is 100 or 200. So say if I put $1,000 in this coin, I take 500 out, put 500 in, match it with Kira, and you could have made like 500 or like maybe $1,000 off of it, but because you only sided um, you put in the pool and then you went up 500 again on the other, your profits are like 700. So you're actually, you could have made 300 more if you just held it rather than did the pool. And that was kind of the experience there, was that I could have made 30% more by not just doing the pool. So the pools don't always, um, work out so crazy. That's just like the honest truth there. What I need though, the big money would be where if I'm all Kira and then Kira spikes up to catch up with it, then my Kira natively is worth a lot more now too. It's hard to sell Kira, but I think that's kind of how I'm able to buy. I've been being able to buy a lot of Kira is that I don't get the slippage from it going up, but I'm also playing with coins that are generating fees while going up. Kira might be going up too, and so I'm playing like the really long game of like just generating a bunch of Kira, and then these pools should be able to go off once Kira spikes up again, because then it's going to be selling the Kira for good, or I'll just exit a pool with all the Kira and just throw the Kira in my ledger, and then make some trades, enter a coin, make another pool, and then right now I've been doing that, but been left with I've been selling all the jupe for Kira. I've been selling all this Geeko for Kira. Selling it was Mother weeks ago when I was messing with that too. So it's cool, but it really needs Kira. My finding is Kira needs a lot more volume. Once they're both doing volume, then they're gonna really start to kick off. If that kind of explains the pool with Kira. Right now, I think it it's maybe a little more risky. You do get some, Meteora points, but I don't know. It's been back and forth with it lately, but I can't complain too much because I'm sitting on Kira, so we'll see how that works for me. But yeah, I think some cool meme coins to look at might be that Shark Cat nub is in the zone where Thor's calling, so that could be really cool too. I think that's gonna be some fun ones. Or we just get wrecked. So, I mean, I've been wrecked with these big market cap coins too, so can't really say too much. Oh, damn, I haven't looked at Bonk in a second. Okay. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, what's up? We are in the zone for Bonk right now. What's up? Okay, just trying to see what we got. All right, the TP1 is 28. Oh, 13%, around 30. So 18 to 20% move perhaps on this play here. The risk would be it ignoring that. Well, actually, that's a 4-hour call on the 27th. And then the 29th, we had a 1-hour call. Oof, interesting. That goes lower. Oof, it gets a little complex like that though, because you would say the 4-hour is stronger, right? It's more correlated movement. This one, if you don't go, yeah, that's something all right. If you were to use like leverage on this one, I'd make sure I wasn't liquidated around 22, because you'd be entering here going hard trying to get that movement. We could see a short-term dip down there and maybe continue the 4-hour move, or you can get out of the 4-hour trade at around TP1, which would probably get you 2%. So that's one of those kind of moves that I make when I do multiple things. It's kind of looking at the okay, got the 4-hour, we're active now, cool. I want to enter it, but also being mindful that there's a 1-hour hanging lower. So I would definitely make sure I don't get wrecked around here, or you just use spot, cool. But then you don't want to risk it because I mean, you're gonna be 8% loss, 8 to 10, which truly sucks. Sitting on that, you just have to be ready and willing to take that ride. I think take it down or be able to buy some more there, and then have your exit be around that TP. That's just me if I'm swing trading. Of course, you could do things that are longer. It's all up to you. mindful of. That's a good note there, though. The that phone call.